Let's be honest, there's no guidebook when it comes to relationships. So we end up having to stumble through life trying to figure things out for ourselves. What if there was a podcast that found the answers for you, that provided insight to build a successful relationship and ultimately find the companionship you've always hoped for? Welcome to the Girls Ask Guys show, where we answer the questions most people are afraid to ask when it comes to lessons in life and love. It's time to master this thing called life together with your hosts, John and Ashley.
And welcome to the Girls Ask Guys show, where we talk about love, dating, relationships, friendships, businesses, and everything in between. Today's show, this nice 10-minute Tuesday, we're going to tell you all about what's coming up this week.
Oh, yeah. Well, last week, what we talked about was... What did we talk about last week?
Last week, I believe we talked about how you did an experiment, right? And the experiment was about good dating gurus.
We talked about the dating gurus and why pickup doesn't work. And I think we smashed that one out of the park. So this week, what we're going to be touching on is how to turn a conversation from a casual one into a more sexual one. Upping the ante a little bit, getting flirtatious, taking it just a little bit further. And part of that experiment that we talked about last week, we are covering another one that I threw into the mix because I got bored.
Right. Yeah, dude. That's exactly what happened. He got bored and then he was like, I'm going to type out 1,000 pages. And it was really good information. Like, I was like, wow, John, when you get bored, you're really productive.
Yeah. Well, this one, I was still in the club and I had the first group that I had talked to. I was looking for a second group that I can interact with, and I saw somebody and I was like, you know what? Fuck it. Let's try this and see how it goes.
Yeah.
Now, part of what we're going to be talking about in that episode is I didn't conduct these experiments with just easy to do kind of things. And the examples we're going to give you aren't the simple little easy, oh, well, they just kind of say this, so here's how you work around it kind of stuff. No, we went like deep, the hardest type of rejections.
The hard stuff, yep. It's very interesting because we made sure we gave you the most extreme example so that when you try out the easiest one, it's a piece of cake. You say, well, hey, at least I'm not Ashley or John. Because they might get slapped in the face, but I'm just okay.
Or if you actually run into one of those hard rejections or what seem like rejections, you've already heard it. You already know what to do. So the simple ones of, I'm just here with my friends, well, you know how to deal with that.
Exactly.
Or if you get one of those really overt, just over-the-top type of personalities, you can deal with it. Mm-hmm. You already know what it looks like. Or go to the opposite extreme, somebody who is extremely shy, and they just kind of turtle up and you can't tell. Are they interested? What's going on here?
Yeah, we're also going to give you some tips on what it's like to look for signs of interest, signs of disinterest, knowing when to walk away, all that kind of stuff. I mean, like, this show is going to basically line up the step-by-step method on how to turn a conversation from
casual.
I was going to say from sexual to casual, but the
you can go that way too.
But it works, but it's like a revolving door or a cycle.
Yeah. And also when you take a look at this thing, not only do you know the science that goes behind it, and we actually break down the two different types of sciences that we pull from, because not every type of science out there is an applied science. You have the non-applied science. So we're going to explain that to you. You're going to understand everything that goes into it so that when it happens, you can see it. So we're going to give you that big picture, and then we're going to scale it down and get more and more direct, and you're able to take what we say and go out there and apply it for yourself.
Mm-hmm. And it's going to be an actionable thing that is you're able to do in just about any setting. We're not just setting you up for the club.
Yeah.
We're not just saying, hey, this is the only way to do this. We're saying, hey, this is how you do it here. This is how you do it there. And then I think John has, well, I don't think, I know, John has a lot of applied science going on with this too.
We go through and we break everything down. And the great thing about this is that you can use the base model that we're giving you anywhere. And when we say anywhere, we literally mean anywhere with any kind of conversation. It doesn't matter. We actually have an example in there where I cover, this is how we make pizza. And when you hear it, you're like, wait, what? But
why are we making pizza?
Yeah. How are we turning pizza into a sexual conversation? But that's what this is.
I can think of several really gross ways to do that.
Yeah.
I'm depraved.
But you can do this with any conversation, and the way that it works, when you understand how it works and then you apply it, you can see how you can take a conversation of, I don't know, watching a TV show, pouring a Coke, going to get something out of the vending machine, and turn that into a more flirtatious, sexual type conversation. Sounds crazy.
Yeah, exactly. I was going to say, it sounds insane. Like when we talk about it, when we say it out loud, like we can turn basically any conversation into a sexual, more flirtatious conversation. It doesn't necessarily mean it's even going to go anywhere. Sometimes it's going to be sometimes you just have fun flirting with people. So don't think that this is a conversation where it has to end up in the bedroom.
Yeah, you can just have fun flirting with each other. I've done that at work where you're just talking with somebody and you're getting this little vibe back that they enjoy talking with you. So you just amp it up just a little bit, and they amp it up a little bit, and then you amp it up a little bit. And next thing you know, this whole conversation went to left field, and both of you are joking and laughing and having fun with it. Doesn't mean that they're going to go out with you. They're just having fun flirting.
Yeah. And like we said, we teach you the body signs, the body language, kind of to understand when to take things to a different level, when to bring them back down. Really just giving you, once again, a step-by-step guide that just continues to grow. If you haven't listened to last week's show, make sure you listen to last week's show, because it's going to really tie in together what we're talking about with this week's show.
Really, if you get nothing out of Thursday's show, and if you're just like, I'm not sure if I want to listen. How many of you actually wonder if somebody is interested in you or not? We have 5 key things. Just 5. These things are universal. And if you can pick up on those 5, you will know if somebody is interested in you or not. Guaranteed. This is the only thing you will ever hear me say, we guarantee.
Yeah.
This thing has been backed up, left, right, backwards, forward. There's no other way to say it. This works. And if you can pick up on those 5, you will never again question whether somebody is interested in you or not.
What we want you to do is, when you listen to the show, we want you to take it and we want you to go take action. That's why we're giving you a step-by-step guide to learning or to knowing how to turn conversations that way. We want you to go out. Obviously, if you're in a high COVID area, wear a mask. But we want you to go out. We want you to meet people. We want you to talk and guide the conversation. Don't go in with an expectation, but we're giving you these actionable steps so that you're able to do it.
Right. And we're almost at 10 minutes, so we've got roughly 30 seconds. The only thing I'm going to add to this last 30 seconds here is next week, not Thursday. Thursday, you are going to learn how to turn conversation into a more flirtatious sexual one. Next week, we are going to give you the secret sauce, taking a relationship and developing it into a long-term, lasting relationship. You will know what to do.
Yeah. So don't forget to like, rate, share, subscribe, tell your mom, tell your friend, tell everybody you know, and write us in on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. That should have been 10 seconds. I was trying to get it in there.
So with that, listen to Thursday, because you are not going to want to miss how to turn a casual conversation into a more flirtatious or sexual one. And we will talk to you again on the next one.
That's all for this episode of the Girls Ask Guys show, where all of us learn to master this thing called life together. For more answers to your questions on life and love, be sure to subscribe to the show so you don't miss a single episode. And head to girlsaskguyshow.com to submit your questions for a future episode or apply to be a guest on the show. Good luck out there, and we'll catch you next time, right here on the Girls Ask Guys show.